The hardest part was definitely starting. And to give you an example of that, it took me probably 10 years to start after I got the idea that I was gonna write a book. Just building myself up to it. While I was doing it, my own doubts were probably the most difficult thing to deal with, because I was just constantly questioning everything that I did. You know, the level of critique that you put into your work, for me, it kind of bleeds out of that process into my everyday life, and it's kind of, I'm almost in like a hypercritical state throughout the whole process of writing, and that's difficult to deal with. I don't know if other writers have that, but for me, you're just kind of in a different headspace while you're creating, and that's a challenge. For practical purposes, we teach kids to work towards, you know, a way of supporting themselves financially, which makes sense. You know, I'm not, you know, downgrading that, but for myself, you know, I'm just trying to kind of balance the two. You know, my artistic vision and the things that I want to bring into the world, and, you know, keeping my head above water, kind of the basics of living. I think that you do hear a lot of that, follow your passions, kind of sweeping platitudes that people throw around, but functionally what's set up for people is not really, you know, fit for that, because you're supposed to go to school and go through this, you know, kind of regimented system that doesn't really go along with those ideas, which are pretty popular ideas. But in practice, they're radically different than, you know, the standard path that people take, because there's nothing really in front of you. This is how you do it. It's like you're blind, and you're kind of just going into this thing and like creating it as you go, which is difficult, but there are benefits to that too. That's my advice. Don't take my advice. That's the place you want to start, is kind of like a neutral position where you're really being honest with yourself, and you aren't looking to other people to give you cues on what you should be doing, because you have things inside you that you want if you'll listen to them. And so listen to yourself, and once you get that kind of figured out, then of course you can take advice from people, because there are people who've done similar things and you know more than you. But starting out, don't take anyone's advice. Just like really, you know yourself, and that'll kind of guide you. It'll get you started. I mean, that would be my advice again. Don't listen to my advice.